Welcome to another episode of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by Iron Mag Labs. Make your mark. I'm your host, Dave Palumbo, and I'm here to bring you all the latest news in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. It's Thursday, September 10th, 2015. Let's get to it. It's been nearly 3 years since we last saw Auguste set foot on the Olympia stage, but with just 2 weeks to go until he makes his triumphant return, it looks like he'll be coming back with a vengeance. This past week, Auguste released some photos showing off a downright gnarly level of conditioning, which might make things very interesting for the judges come showtime. Height for pound, Auguste isn't going to be the biggest athlete up on stage, but his combination of shape, symmetry, and conditioning should make him very tough to deal with. With the addition of Auguste to this year's 212 Olympia lineup, you can bet your life savings that last year's top 5 are shaking in their trunks. And rightfully so. RULY WINKLER has been conspicuously absent from the conversation about this year's Olympia. But all that's getting ready to change. After making a conscious effort to keep a low profile early in his contest prep, this week images have been percolating out showing off a beast mode WINKLER. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's remember that RULY is the unofficial winner of the Paul Dillette Achievement Award for the bodybuilder who looks like Mr. Olympia when posing in the gym in a string tank top. But if, and this is a big if, WINKLER can bring in a perfect blend of conditioning, fullness, and aesthetics, a top 6 placing is certainly a very real outcome from the Curacao Kraken. I don't know if he's distantly related to Ponce de Leon or not, but apparently Tricky Jackson has discovered the fountain of youth. This week, some new photos leaked of Tricky 12 days out from the 212 Olympia. And from what we can see, the tides of his comeback season are going to continue rolling right into the Olympia. According to Jackson and coach Trey Hodge, he's currently sitting at 202 pounds on the nose. And with another week or so to keep getting tighter and drying out, we might be about to see the best version of Tricky Jackson that we've ever seen. Since Jackson wasn't on last year's Olympia stage, we should fully expect him in full attack mode once the curtain draws and the lights go on. By the way things are shaping up for this year's Men's Physique Olympia, nuclear fusion might be easier and will require less attention to detail than trying to judge the top 10. And Andre Adams isn't going out of his way to make things any easier. Adams released some new photos this week that show the up-and-coming superstar looking especially sharp. We haven't seen Adams since his 7th place finish earlier this year at the Arnold Classic, which really seems to be a put all your eggs in one basket strategy for the second-year pro. But if he's added muscle in all the right places during his time off, Adams' combination of a tiny waist and round sweeping muscle bellies might be just enough to land him in a top 6 finish for the sport's biggest stage. There may not be a bigger surprise in the entire women's physique division this year than Kira Neuman. The former NPC national champ hadn't competed for nearly 2 years before showing up at the Chicago Pro to kick ass and take names on her way to locking up a win at one of the biggest events of the year. And now, only days away from her first Olympia appearance, Neuman has cranked up the knob on her Jedi focus as she prepares to do battle against some of the leading ladies in the women's physique division. With 2 wins already under her belt this season, Neuman has proven that she's got the firepower to hang with just about anyone. But whether or not she can withstand a Malacarne-sized assault still remains to be seen. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by Iron Mag Labs. Make your mark. Check out ironmaglabs.com today. I'm your host, Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passion. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.